Hello everyone, my name is Monica Rickards. For my modern fantasy discussion board, I chose Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. I chose this book because I've always been a closet Harry Potter fan. I've read most of the books, of course watched the movies, which are different than the books, but still have enjoyed them. This is a juvenile fiction book, which is geared more towards early middle school and on. This book attracts me, I think, the most because of J.K. Rowling's ability to make Hogwarts and the happenings of the story so believable. This book contains all the 5 elements of the evaluation criteria of modern fantasy. To start, the setting is first introduced to us in the Leaky Cauldron, which is a small pub where Harry and Hagrid visit before entering Diagon Alley to buy his school supplies. This little pub is described as dark, grubby looking, kind of shabby, and so therefore readers can imagine what this little pub might look like. The Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry is also described as this vast castle with windows that sparkle in the night sky. It's surrounded by large towers, and there's a great black lake that kind of surrounds the property where Harry and his friends travel in their boats to actually get to the school. We can imagine what the school looks like and the grounds of the school through this use of imagery and detail. The plot element of the actual story is very imaginative, but yet still very logical. Harry Potter himself is an orphan who lost his parents as a young baby and is placed with family members of his that don't necessarily appreciate him or acknowledge him much. He is given the opportunity to attend a school where his parents attended, and so he travels over there almost like a boarding school and stays there for some time to study. Many children around the world do this very same thing today. There's many turmoil and obstacles that the characters face, and although they're very imaginative throughout this story, they could still happen in this magical world. The characters each have personalities that are consistent and relatable throughout the story. Harry Potter himself inherits many of his parents' traits and magical abilities, and he is the dominant character throughout the story. He's the hero, and he's the one that is pretty much the leader of the pack of his friends. Hermione is a bookworm who struggles with the fact that she is considered a muggle, which is non-magic type. And so many of the other students and some of the teachers judge her and treat her differently through that. And I know that people around the world can definitely relate with that because not everyone is the same. Everyone is made unique in their own special way. Ron, he is the humorous one. He also is a little frightened and timid in different times throughout the book. And he comes from a family that sometimes lacks financial means, but yet they're full of love. Many of the other students recognize this, and so therefore they might tease him or judge him for that. And again, people can relate to this. The style of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is very understandable in my opinion. The author uses descriptive imagery, again, that imagery word, that creates vivid images that the readers need to actually imagine this world and what happens. The author also uses authentic dialogue between the characters, and this authentic dialogue actually foreshadows some of the events that are going to happen and helps the reader keep up with the plot of the story. There is a wonderful set of themes throughout the book of Harry Potter. One, obviously, being the lesson of humbleness. Harry Potter is a hero, and he's been a hero almost his whole life. He stands up against Voldemort as a baby, and he also saves his friends and his school ultimately from Voldemort in the end of the book. And so even though he's a hero, it doesn't necessarily glorify him on the inside, nor does it change the way that he acts or his personality. And so that lesson of humbleness can be great for children. It also teaches the lesson of rebellion, that sometimes, during different times, we might have to break the rules in order to do what's best. And Harry, Ron, and Hermione all face this challenge. For example, there is one time in the story where they know that they shouldn't be out at night. That's a strict rule of the school. But yet they leave their dormitory, Harry does, in his magical cape, where he goes to look for a certain book that they need to track down a Nicholas Flamel. And so during that time, even though they knew that the school had strict rules if they weren't supposed to be out, they had to break that rule because they were doing what was best for the school. And then again, of course, Harry Potter himself and his friends, they face a lot of the same struggles and obstacles in life. And even though it's placed in this magical world, some of these same things people face, personal feelings people face in this real world.